welcome to Pure Tarot. I'm up north. I took a drive outside the city this afternoon. Just wanted to get away from the noise and the heat inside the city. And I'm sitting at the base of a mountain at the onset of trails where people are coming in and taking their walks and stuff like that, their hikes. And before going on my walk, I thought I'd do a little quick reading outside in this beautiful scenery. You know, nature's always such an uplifting environment. It feels so good. So I'm gonna do I guess a little check-in. We're August 22nd. There's a blue moon in Aquarius, the second full moon in the sign this month. It might be a strong one for you. It might be less strong. But overall, it's definitely it's a big day. It's a big day. Let me put it this way. All right, let's have the cards tell us a bit about this energy that is here today. So 4 cards. I have Judgment, 10 of Wands in reverse. So sorry, Judgment, 10 of Wands in reverse, 5 of Swords, and the Magician. So interesting energies in terms of having 2 majors, one at the, you know, on each side of these 4 cards. This speaks to me about a conflictual situation. Some people are held hostage here. They're being threatened. The swords are pointed towards them in a very aggressive fashion. And there's all these swords hanging over their heads, everyone's head actually. So everyone involved has some form of doom and gloom over their heads, so to speak. Definitely not an easy situation. You know, it's really interesting because it's a group of 5 against a group of 5. On my way here, you know how you have these posts along the highway for, you know, marking kilometers. At some point I saw 555 today, and this is exactly the 555 moment for me. I love these little synchronicities. I'm gonna have to Google the meaning of that, read a little further into it. I don't know it off by heart, but I'm feeling a lot of strife. I'm feeling a lot of, like I said, it's a heavy situation. It's a sharp situation. I'm feeling a lot of, it feels cutthroat is what I'm getting. And so here, the 10 of Wands in reverse. Although it's in reverse, I'm still feeling a lot of, again, the idea of heaviness. Something is very dense. Something is extremely, how can I say? It's sort of like entrapped in stone. For some reason, I feel it as it's entrapped, and I have stone instead of, you know, wands would be maybe, and here is, you see the pieces of wood, it's sort of I guess the idea of stone is the density of it. You know how let's say even the idea of a cave. If you're wandering inside a cave, you know it's really dark. It could be the walls are damp. Um, this this the soil where you're walking is slippery because of that water coming down. So it's a slippery situation. That's what it is. Conflictual, slippery, uneasy. Um, you know, heavy and dense. Um, Definitely something enclosing and very menacing is what I want to say. And then you've got these two majors, right, on each side. I'm very glad to see them upright. Uh, that's a positive because this energy is quite uncomfortable here, even to read out to you. Um, you know, it's I don't want to dwell here actually, and I won't. So let's take a look at the beautiful light emanating from these two majors. I think that there's a moment of there's a huge wake-up call, and I think it's interesting because it's the start, right? It's the first card here, so it's like these people are finally hearing some kind of truth. They're finally, you know, maybe paying attention, I guess. Although they don't look like they are because they're bathing and this one is looking down. But you know, these two have their hands in prayer. So you know, I think that they actually are they're welcoming this truth. They're welcoming hearing about it. And finally, it feels like a finally it feels like this needed to end kind of thing. You know, it's a the judgment is irrevocable, and that's a good thing. And maybe that's why there's such density afterwards, because basically what's being exposed here is this nastiness, pure nastiness here in the middle. So, and amazingly here, the outcome, if I may use that word, is is a form of mastery. The clarity gained and the truth revealed and the stickiness and nastiness being exposed, you know, is actually empowering this person to the point that, you know, they feel unencumbered, I think is the word. They want to go back to their craft. They want to go back to the simplicity of you know, using their tools and having a I'm really coming back to the word simplicity, keeps ringing, keeps coming back up. Um, it's simple because look, you know, the table is very, there's a few objects, but they're very potent. And so it doesn't take much to create beautiful things. It doesn't take much to feel empowered. It doesn't take much um, to feel a sense of ease. You know, when you manipulate your tools and you have this, I guess, great mastery over what you're doing, you are you are flowing. You are comfortable. It's easy. It's effortless. It's fluid. And you know, all the major arcanas in this deck have these amazing swirls in the background here. And that speaks to me about the fluidity of things. And this is where the majors take on a lot more strength, you know, in bringing you messages. They're, you know, really pouring through with all that, I guess, emotional download. You know, for some reason, I'm getting an emotional, like, this is about emotions. Although there's no cups here, it's not an emotion like a romantic feeling, not in that sense, you know, not geared towards that. It's more like having an emotional sensitivity, you know, and being very attuned to that, and that being, I guess, one of your tools, right? Um, how you feel, because how you feel aligns you. That is really powerful. And, you know, let me pull a card here on the middle part where how does it go away? How come this person is suddenly in their power from having gone through? I mean, it comes from the clarity of obviously finding out about all of this stuff. So many cards fell, but I'm gonna take the ones that have flipped up. And look at that. It's all a bunch of people. It's two kings, King of Swords, Queen of Cups, and King of Wands. So that's really interesting that you suddenly have all these people show up. So I'm thinking that this situation involves more than one person, definitely. You could take it literally and say two men, there's a woman involved, but it doesn't have to be gender specific, obviously. Um, the energies are, you know, more in terms of the suits. So King of Swords and King of Wands, and then that beautiful Queen of Cups. So she is a very loving woman, most likely attractive, or at least, you know, with a lot of charm and charisma. You don't have to be a 10 or a model to be very pretty, you know, or to be beautiful and to exude that. And so here on the kings, two very decisive types of kings with two different modus operandi. You know, one is a lot more, I guess, intellectually geared, you know, and working on tactics and strategy and long-term goals and you know, a bit more of the mastermind. And then here this King of Wands here, a lot more in the execution, a lot more in the physicality of those plans, right? This guy's making the plans, this guy is actually putting them in action. And then maybe that's what it is. These energies were geared towards you know, a strategy against or for this lady. Who knows? But they're upright. Maybe there was some kind of collaboration, but this energy at the base of it is very dark in a way. So I don't really feel that this is a positive situation. I much more feel that the cards are telling me who this involves, or who this points to, who's actually involved in this situation. I'm gonna use my makeshift tarot deck. Just keywords on a plain tarot, like blank cards. I'm going to give it a moment for silence because I need more clarity on this situation. And why do I feel like this woman is being squeezed between people? You know, it could be more than one. These two kings could be a multitude of people, but for some reason, this lady feels very singled out. So I would like to know if this is I didn't have time to finish my question. Okay, that's interesting. These two came out together, daydreaming, and it's the other way around. So um, that sort of tells me, wake up, wake up, wake up. You know, stop daydreaming, stop, fantasizing, stop idealizing, stop, you know, looking at life with rose glasses, rose tinted glasses, maybe. Again, back to the clarity. And then these sets of cards, this set of cards, this is really strange though. It says energy, solution, connection, it's real, and a secret. So this is quite interesting and a little bit surprising to me. I say a little bit because I picked up on so much strife here and so much. I have to say it this way. It felt negative. It feels doom and gloom. It's really strange. Energy, solution, connection. It's real and secret. So maybe if I'm gonna tie these in, daydreaming is the other way around, meaning it would be real. But why is this? Why all of this guck? Like it doesn't make sense really. It doesn't make sense. I mean, rationally speaking, which is important to emphasize because sometimes life isn't always what it is, what it seems to be. You know, we perceive what we perceive, and sometimes we're very tuned in and it's very clear. Sometimes even the best of us, meaning people with higher minds and clearer, I guess, vision, or maybe even these people sometimes don't always see everything for what it is. It's really interesting. Okay. I wanted tarot again for these two, what I call the nastiness. And I have Seven of Swords in reverse and Nine of Coins in reverse. So, it's really interesting. It's giving me someone slaying the dragon here on this Seven of Swords. They're slaying the dragon, but they're still at fire's reach. For some reason, they use the stick to keep the dragon. I don't know if you're seeing. I'm sorry. They use the stick to keep the dragon at bay. Seven of Swords in reverse would tell me that this, whatever deception that I felt here, maybe this nastiness, maybe that's ending, and someone's coming out of their independence. It's really strange in terms of, I guess maybe it points back to a connection. But it might be a connection to self-empowerment as well. You know, I like how on this card again, the Son of Swords, you have these two emblems with the crowns. And here on the Nine of Coins, I like these little I guess, sort of, like when monks wrote in books, the first page, like not just the first page, but like the first chapter and the first letter of a text would always have what we call in French enluminure. So the first letter would be big and would be in a square, and there would be drawings and a lot of colors and sometimes gold foliage. Like that letter became extremely important, because of the first letter of that chapter, and the monks would, make that really, really pretty and special. That's what I'm getting on this. I get this feeling. So the crown and this, it's really interesting. It's it's bringing a bit of, I guess, uh, balm on this energy that was so difficult here at the beginning. That made me feel uncomfortable even reading it, expressing it to you, trying to tap into it. I didn't like it. I'm just not clear on why you would want to come out of your independence. It's really interesting. I'm going to pull another card. Queen of Coins, Queen of Pentacles. That's beautiful. That's okay. So it's real empowerment. Um, it's real empowerment. I feel empowerment here. You would think that by being independent, the queen would gain in power in terms of her, being free from depending, so no codependency, all of that. But it's interesting that her power lies in actually wanting to connect, and she's slayed the dragon and the deception. Her whatever's been deceptive, whether she was deceptive towards herself or you know maybe others were deceptive towards her because of all this strife here. But there's great mastery again, mastery and simplicity. This woman, you know, uh, relies on her resources, and usually it's self-reliance, which is quite important. Look, the way she's dressed is quite simple. You know, even her hair. Um, it's like she's let go of unnecessary circumvolution of like unnecessary attire, or there's no need for fluff. I don't know how to say it. Um, I don't know if you can see this. It's quite beautiful. The way she's holding that scepter, it's a very thin scepter, very feminine, and she's holding it. So she has her hand. Let me show you. It's like she has her hand, and it's like the scepter is simply just kind of squeezed between her fingers, and she's holding it like that on her lap, and the weight here, the weight of I guess the head of the scepter is just leaning on her arm, on her bicep. So or I mean like the top part, you know. So again, a very it feels natural. It feels like a natural authority kind of thing. Just you know, she doesn't have to hold a stick, like okay, here, like I'm the queen, or like it's very laid back. It's very again. There's no show. There's no smoke screen. There's no you know, pure gold, very simple tiara. The coin is a bit more, I guess, has more of the work, artisan work, and it's sort of resonates with the shape of, you know, has the shape of a sun. If you want to extend that drawing to the sun. I'm putting a lot of emphasis on that simplicity because I think it's important in terms of inner knowing and in terms of doing, you know, in terms of how one's personality expresses itself outwardly is you know, simple but efficient, I guess, or just again the simplicity of the magician, just simple tools, having the right resources at your disposal, and it's really interesting. I still can't connect the energies of this lady with this conflictual situation per se, especially with all these people here involved. It could be just three people, but it could be more. Because they, being upright, they feel benevolent. It's really strange. I mean, I'm glad. I just don't understand the density here. I don't understand the pain. I don't understand the strife. I don't understand the difficulty. Maybe it was a rite of passage. Maybe it was, again, I think one of the most important things is slaying the dragon. You know, vanquishing your demons. Is that how you say? No, vanquishing, I think, means something else. Maybe just triumphing over your demons, right? Your inner demons, not literal outside forces, of course. Um, it's definitely related to the judgment. There's, you know, this is number 20, and for some reason, I see these two kings as these two X's. Um, it's like, and you know the funny thing, as I was driving here, this is really funny. I have to tell you because this just resonated with me just now by saying this. So I have the song on, I have the music blasting in the car, and there's a song, I don't remember, I have to look at I don't know, it was just playing. And there was some, I think it was a Stevie Wonder song, She's So Lovely, or yeah, something like that. And there's a baby crying, a baby girl, I think. And well, she's crying. It's just like, you know, sounds of a baby. You could tell it's a very young baby. And as I'm listening to this song, I'm driving, and the car in front of me, the plate has only X and Y. And because of the baby sound and the crying, the first thing that came to mind was chromosomes. When I saw the X and the Y, and here I am looking at double X, and for some reason I'm having, I don't know, I'm wanting to put X's on these, and I'm not saying that I'm crossing them out. I'm just saying that it's like a little bit like having an unknown, two unknowns. Um, so it's really interesting, and I have for some reason I want to. I'm inclined to collapse the two queens together. It might be the same person. It might not. Um, but what it tells me is that there's a dimension of the unknown in this. I guess this situation. Um, but and that maybe that's, there's a secret. There's still something. Although there was like some clarity here, some kind of announcement, and definitely it's like an arrival, right? Doo, 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 like the cavalry. So this, but here the secret remains, the unknown remains. The That's really interesting. But it's interesting. I mean, like the this section here feels a little bit separate, but at the same time, it's linked. But it's kind of on the side. And it's like in a different reality. Maybe it's the daydreaming and the secrecy. There's like some kind of uh, parallel, like a parallel, like in two worlds kind of thing. But I do really enjoy. I didn't put any emphasis on this card here, but the energy solution connection. I mean, the word solution is quite welcomed here. It promises like that things are gonna sort of um, unravel in a positive sense. It's quite an interesting reading. It's not very clear in the sense that it doesn't pinpoint to something. I guess what I'm saying, it feels abstract still. It doesn't feel like a real life situation. I mean, it is obviously, but if you know what I mean, I'm not. Sometimes there are readings that are much more, I don't know, obvious. Maybe is how I want to say it. This doesn't feel obvious. It feels like again like an abstract sort of. I want to say story, but I don't like that word because sometimes people make stories. They tell. I mean, I love a good story. Don't get me wrong. I'm such a good public. I'm like the first one to laugh at anyone who's really funny has got me right there. Um, and I love when people are very savvy and a great storyteller is so captivating. It's great. Um, and I really enjoy that. But I was describing the kind of stories that people tell that they tell themselves, to justify their actions or it's like you feel it when you talk to someone and they go into a story. Oh, but I did this and it was because of that and this happened and it's just like, okay, get out of your head and um, you know, I don't know. I don't mean to be harsh here, but I'm just saying to make you understand what I mean by the kind of story I'm pointing at. Um, so I don't know. It's hard to tell. It's actually interesting because now the way my mind is wandering inside of, like how I'm, I guess, walking my own trail of thought is I'm feeling the ambiguity of having a story that is a bunch of lies, or at least, like a bunch of excuses, versus an amazing storytelling, like a real beautiful woven story, with an incredible substance, and that 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 was written with, you know um, exquisite, I guess, when you read one, like, some of the best poets and writers, there's just something outer worldly. It's really interesting. I'm being totally carried away with this reading, and I'm having a hard time making it like mundane is what I want to say. It feels I guess it might be the energy of the full moon. Maybe I'm getting caught in this story. Well, I did enjoy telling it to you, so, and the cards were happy to come out for you, and you know, give you a glimpse. So on that note, I'm gonna go take a short walk. I saw so much traffic on the way back. There's a lot of people coming back from their vacation, and so it's gonna be a long coming home in traffic. So I'm not gonna stay too long, but I do want to enjoy the woods a little longer before I head back. And I might do another reading. I have this fun idea that I might explore later tonight. So on that note, have a great day. Enjoy your full moon. Make the most out of it. I hope it's a beautiful, beautiful experience for you. Take care of yourselves.